UCF Soccer Complex. Today's first round game features the number 6 seed with an overall record of 9-6-3, 4-4-1 in league play.
Here in beautiful Orlando, Florida, on the campus of UCF for the start of the American Women's Soccer Championship in 2017. The last time UCF hosted, they were able to take home the crown. They won't play today, but who will play is the number 6 seed SMU, and they will take on the number 3 seed, the University of Cincinnati Bearcats. And with that, we will take a look at the championship bracket. The host UCF will play tomorrow. They will take on the winner of the latter half of the doubleheader tonight. They will take on the winner of UConn and Memphis. UCF will get the winner of this matchup between SMU and Cincinnati. And with that, we welcome you into the broadcast booth here on the campus of UCF. Tyler Terrens along with Matt Stubbington. And Matt, when we take a look at these two teams, SMU comes in red hot. They've been able to win their last 4 games. Cincinnati, on the other hand, have been on a little bit of a skid.
Cincinnati, a little bit inconsistent to end the season. They'll be looking to make amends for that. But SMU haven't been scored on in 4 games, haven't lost in 4 games. They are doing a tremendous job to finish the season.
Over 360 minutes without a goal for SMU. And with that, we will take a look at our keys to the game for both sides. And starting with the Mustangs, it's maintaining that end of the season form, as well as maybe a little bit more efficient with their shot selection.
Well, more on the shot selection in a moment, but you've got to maintain that end of season form. They finished the regular season so well. If they can continue with that confidence going into the postseason, they're going to be a really dangerous team to play against.
And on the other side, for Cincinnati, they have 11 clean sheets on the season. It's all about imposing their defensive will.
Well, SMU haven't been scored on in the latter part of the season. The Bearcats have been playing great defense all season long. They've only got 10 goals scored against them all season. Second in the American Conference. They're a tremendous team. But the better shot selection bodes for the Bearcats as well as SMU. Both teams have over 300 shots for the season. They've got to do a better job of making better choices in the attacking third and put that ball in the back of the net.
And now the key players for SMU and Cincinnati, starting with the Mustangs. Haley Thompson doesn't have a goal this season, but she is vitally important in terms of those set pieces.
As you know, set pieces can make all the difference in playoff situations, and Haley Thompson is a great component of that art of delivering the ball where it needs to be. Beautiful defender, linchpin in the back line for SMU. She's going to be an important player for them this afternoon.
And for Cincinnati, Sophie Gorman, a freshman. She's not a starter, but she's been so important for them off the bench.
Well, she's got 18 appearances on the year. She's a freshman. She's on the rookie team of the year. She's on the second team of the year as well. And a tremendous explosive athlete and a super sub. She puts the ball in the back of the net and has all of that output coming off of the bench.
Kickoff just right around the corner here in Orlando, Florida. Stay with us here on the American Digital Network.
My mom actually never finished elementary school. Because my mother was a refugee, she didn't speak English when she arrived to this country. And she had told me when I was in high school, you need to get a degree for the both of us. In my 4 years at SMU, I've been able to accomplish 3 degrees. I've gone from Iraq to DC to Dallas. And I've been able to work with refugees, work with inmates, and also manage a political campaign. The collaborative environment here at SMU really provides a ton of opportunities for students. I'm Kovan Barzani. World changers are shaped here.
For every hero, there is an origin story, an experience that made them who they are. For a new generation of explorers, pioneers, and innovators, that experience is calling, offering a different kind of education, one guided by distinguished professors who understand experience as the best teacher. Greatness lies beyond the classroom. This is where you start. University of Cincinnati. Do more.
We are American. The conference of opportunity. The opportunity to chase dreams. The opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
Welcome back to the campus of UCF here in beautiful Orlando, Florida, as we are just moments away from kickoff in the 3-6 matchup of the quarterfinals of the American 2017 Soccer Championship here on the campus of UCF. Tyler Terrens along with Matt Stubbington. Cincinnati and SMU just about to kick off. Cincinnati, the 3 seed, and with that we'll head down to the 3rd member of our crew, Haley Alden.
Well, I had a chance to catch up with both head coaches during the warm-up, and first up for Cincinnati, head coach Neil Stafford. I talked to him about the last time they faced SMU. They dropped that game. He didn't think that they played their best in that one, so he said a key today will be playing better out wide and also controlling the midfield. A key to that is stopping Claire Oates. He also said they missed a lot of close chances, so being more productive in that final third will be very important. And on the other side for SMU, head coach Chris Petroselli, he said the key is to keep the ball and pass it around. And if his team can do that, he's pretty confident that his team can come out on the victorious side today. He also said that they're going to try to disrupt service out of the back for Cincinnati. He's very complimentary of the balls that they can serve into the box, so something to keep an eye on there as well. He said that they're built to disrupt and destroy, so I think we can expect an extremely physical match today.
Thanks a lot, Haley. And we are just about set for kickoff. And the last time that these two teams played, it was a 1-0 victory for SMU. It was Katie Novy coming off the bench and, of course, assisted by Thornton in the 80th minute. And the first goal of the season for Novy. And the referee just making sure that all the logistics are in order before kickoff here at UCF. Cincinnati lining up in the red uniform with the black shorts and socks as we are underway from the UCF Soccer Track and Field Complex. Tyler Terrens along with Matt Stubbington. And as Haley mentioned, Matt, we can probably expect a very physical matchup. Cincinnati very strong defensively, 11 clean sheets on the season.
It's going to be a really physical matchup. It's going to be interesting too. Both teams have got a pretty aggressive, attack-minded lineup today, with SMU playing a 4-3-3 and Cincinnati a 3-5-2 lineup. So a little bit of a difference between the two teams tactically, so it'll be interesting to see how they shape out.
And right off the bat, SMU able to win a corner on essentially the first possession of the game. First corner of the evening. SMU with a number of players at the top of the box. Good ball in, keeper off their line. It's cleared off the line. It's still loose in the box. Cincinnati trying to clear it away. It's blocked off the line. SMU still trying to put it in. Cincinnati not out of trouble just yet. The Bearcats still struggling to get it out of their own end. And finally able to clear it away from danger, but a very early opportunity there for the Mustangs. And it'll be a free kick for SMU after all of that.
We talked in the opening how important set pieces are in playoff games. And this ball just bounced around. The goalkeeper came to claim it, but Madison Less never got close to the ball. And it was her teammates in the back line who came in beautifully behind the goalkeeper who saved her blushes.
Collision in the middle of the box as there's a player for SMU who's down. And the ball will travel out of bounds. Now the referee is going to check on that injured player for SMU.
That was much better from the goalkeeper. Strong up into the challenge on the second set piece that she's faced so far in this early part of the match.
So SMU early on with a lot of sustained pressure. Almost a score for the Mustangs in the first minute of play. Kiki Lowell had a tough time clearing that away for the Bearcats. And SMU will be in clear possession here. However, the Bearcats not going to allow them to have a lot of time and space on the ball. And cleared away by Cincinnati, and SMU right off the bat, Matt. A lot of pressure and making life difficult for the back line.
A lot of pressure up top. And that makes it against a possession-oriented team. That's what you want to do. Put the pressure on. Don't allow the possession. Don't allow clean looks on the passes. Harry the opposition and makes life difficult for them. It's also indicative of the confidence that SMU have come into this match with their success that they had at the end of the regular season.
The season on a 4-game winning streak. Haven't let in a goal in over 360 minutes of play. Wins coming against Temple, East Carolina, Cincinnati, as well as the University of Houston. All three of those 1-0 decisions, with the exception of the Temple game. SMU were able to put 2 in against the Owls, and Cincinnati still trying to clear their lines completely, but SMU just pinning them back in their own defensive third. Good work from this Mustang crew. Kiki Lowell on the defensive work there.
That's beautiful work in the left back position by Kiki Lowell, getting her body goal side of the attack very nicely, shielding the ball, keeping possession. So key for the defenders, not only to win the ball, but keep possession so you can try and restart the offense for your team, work the ball up the pitch.
All the way back to stand keeper Katie Brown, junior out of Sacramento. She actually played for Rosella Kelly in high school. And played for head coach Chris Petrucelli at Notre Dame. Cincinnati on the move for the first time in this match, trying to get things going offensively. But cleared away by Haley Thompson, one of our players to watch for SMU. She's the dangerous player for the Mustangs on set pieces. And here is Chris Petrucelli in his 6th season, graduate of UNC Greensboro. A couple of national titles as a player. And 2-time National Coach of the Year as well. Stops at Notre Dame as well as University of Texas. Coach of the Year in '94 and '95, and has just done a terrific job with this SMU crew. However, they do have their first corner of the match to deal with. Royer on top of it for the Bearcats. Free header at the back post, and it's tipped off the bar. Still loose, and finally Brown able to come away with it. So both corners to start the match here, Matt, almost result in goal-scoring opportunities.
Nessa Jill there, beautiful footwork in the box to get herself open on this opportunity. Just drifts away from the defenders, everybody watching the ball. Header is on target. The goalkeeper, Katie Brown, did brilliantly to get back to the crossbar to tip the ball onto the bar and then come up with a save on the ensuing rebound.
Vanessa Geel on the header for Cincinnati. Unmarked on the back post and almost spelled disaster for the Mustangs, who were on the front foot for the first 3 or 4 minutes of this match.
So important on defensive set pieces, particularly on the corner, to get yourself turned at an angle so you can see both the player you're marking and the ball. And on that situation, SMU, everybody was facing the ball, and that made it very easy for Jill just to peel off and find acres of space for herself.
Madison Less punting it away. Redshirt freshman from Hinckley, Ohio. SMU asking for a foul, claiming that there was no advantage on the play, but the head referee says play on, and now a long ball sent into the corner. Chasing after it is Lepresti. Won't be able to get there, though. And SMU is still livid with the referee on that particular call.
Great opportunity for the Bearcats to lock down in defensively now, keep the possession in their attacking third.
And, of course, Neil Stafford for the Cincinnati Bearcats in his 5th season. Coached at Assumption beforehand. 14 years of coaching experience. And has done a terrific job with the Cincinnati crew, specifically on the defensive end. 11 clean sheets on the season. Just a .56 goals against average. SMU able to win possession back. Ellie Thornton trying to connect the dots up top.
And the goals against average for the Bearcats, second in the conference, but it's also very highly ranked nationally.
And Haley talked about the physicality of this match. That'll probably be one it's going to involve a lot of fouls in a match that's going to be fought in the middle third of the pitch, but it's really been a couple of opportunities for either team as this free kick is sent all the way into SMU territory. Good fight up top from Hannah Allred. Kiki Lowe all the way back to Addison Less.
The three defenders in the back. There'll be a lot of switching of position between those three players for Cincinnati. And you see Kiki Lowe now in the middle of the back line for the Bearcats, where she's played a little bit in the left back position to open the match. See a rotation there as players go across the back line in the attack for SMU, and they'll be tracked by the Bearcat defenders.
Cleared away by the Mustang back line, headed right back in. Gill getting one of her first touches. Sent into the corner. Julia Abbott giving chase. Catherine Herron for SMU on the defending, and she did a brilliant job able to win the throw-in as well.
I thought Abbott was doing a good job of pinning Herron into the defensive third, but Herron knew better. Very crafty way to win the throw-in.
Here's Lowell. Cincinnati connecting a couple passes together, but the defensive work from Mary Meehan. Long ball sent ahead, but no problem for Katie Brown. And an interesting start, Matt. SMU started off the game red hot. They were able to pin back Cincinnati in their own territory, and for the past few minutes, it's been the Bearcats who have been on the offensive.
The outside forwards, Blair Thorpe and Thornton, who was playing on the right, playing a little bit more withdrawn. So essentially they're playing with a 4-5-1. In doing that, you're inviting the Bearcats to have some possession and bring the pressure into their attacking half. So if you're sagging back defensively, which is what SMU have started to do a little bit, it makes life a lot easier for Cincinnati. And Orred, number 14, becomes a very key component of SMU then trying to start the counterattack. She needs to get to the strong side of the field. It'll be an outlet pass for SMU going forwards.
You find Jordan Kotler up front. It's going to be a foul against Cincinnati. Stacey Brown, the culprit on that instance.
Bit of a clumsy challenge there. Brown and Cutler binding to Cooley to the ground.
Brown with a great ball forward. And the Cincinnati defense and Vanessa Gill just having to play it out of bounds. It'll be a deep throw-in for the Mustangs. Mary Meehan on top of it. Meehan surveying, looking for an option. Nobody checking for the Mustangs. Finally, they get it off. Lowell able to clear it away for the Bearcats.
The throw-in was created by the pressure from Orred. Talked about her being important about getting to the strong side. She did that well. But off of the throw-in, there was no industry on the runs at all.
Goes out wide for Meehan. And she tried to get the delivery across, but always going over the crossbar. It'll be a goal kick. We talked earlier about the dichotomy of the recent forms of both of these teams. SMU ended the season on a 4-game winning streak. No goals allowed in those 4 matches. And then Cincinnati on the other side, just 1 win in their last 4 games. The last win coming against ECU. Foreman with the game winner in that occasion. And in your opinion, Matt, how important is it to finish the season strong, or when you start the tournament, does it just become a completely different animal?
The playoffs are a completely different animal because it's a 1-game deal. But to go into the playoffs on a high note with confidence is so much easier and much more important for your team than if you're going in and you're trying to chivvy them up and create an atmosphere of positivity where there might not be any. It becomes a different form of inspiration, if you like, for the coach to try and inspire the players to be successful. And let them know that you still have that belief that they can get the job done and find a way to instill that belief in themselves, because Cincinnati have played well all season. They've played great defensively. They just have to have that belief that they can maintain that and get it back in the playoffs. And one of the old adages, defense wins championships. If they can play strong defense, maybe get those goals going and ball in the back of the net, then who knows? See them playing on Sunday.
Well, it has been done just once before, where a team has won all 3 games. And that was Cincinnati when they won back in 2015. They were ousted in PKs last year in the quarterfinals by USF. Just a 7-match unbeaten streak in the middle of the season to really cement themselves amongst the top of the American Conference. As this ball comes all the way across, it was dangerous. Kiki Lowell will see it go over her head. Vanessa Gil now for the Bearcats. One of the more outstanding defenders in this conference, and probably even more so in the country. Most outstanding defender in this tournament in 2015. And she won Co-Defensive Player of the Year, released by the American offices just yesterday on Halloween. And with that, we'll head down to the third member of our crew again, Haley Outen. Haley?
Well, you mentioned her, Vanessa Gil, the Defensive Player of the Year. I asked Coach before the game how she took that news when she found out earlier this week, and said, you know, she was really honored and she took great pride in this award. But he said, first and foremost, she was giving credit to her teammates around her. And Coach also said that his defense functions as a unit. It's really 10 or 11 players. It starts up front with his forwards. But for Vanessa, she's a very sophisticated, special, imposing player, very motivated and self-driven. Another thing he also said that I thought was interesting, and I've heard you guys say her name quite a bit today, is Kiki Lowell. He said, as a freshman, she is somebody who could have given Vanessa a run for her money this year when it came to those defensive accolades. So certainly a player on the Cincinnati team with a very bright future.
Thanks a lot, Haley. And as you mentioned, Kiki Lowell getting mentioned to the all-rookie team this season. Started 15 out of the 17 games she's appeared in this year. And she's been a great addition on the back line with Vanessa. As we mentioned, Co-Defensive Player of the Year in the conference, 6-time Defender of the Week in her career. It's the last go-about for Vanessa. And first team All-American as well in the 2017 season, as Cincinnati were trying to fight their way through. Neil Stafford was asking for a penalty on the bench, but he's not going to get one.
I don't think that was a penalty. It was a good tackle in the box by SMU. Certainly allowing the attack into the penalty box like that is not something that the Mustangs want to see happen too often.
It's Kotler back for Royer. Good step from Kiki Lowell. Eventually cleared away by Meehan. That's been a good battle on the near side between Meehan and Carly Royer.
Look how high Lowell was pushing up the pitch there, and that's partly because of that partnership between Riley Gruenbaum and the experienced Gil, allowing Lowell that freedom to go up the pitch and put the pressure on, and that makes it even more difficult for SMU to find any possession going into their attacking half.
You mentioned before Cincinnati playing with 3 at the back, and Kiki Lowell's going to step that high. There has to be a midfielder who's going to drop in and help her out, no?
You would think, but I think because of the experience of the other 2 players in the back line, how good Gil is, I think they feel pretty comfortable with the fact that they're okay with those 2 players back there. The other thing is that as Lowell steps up, the other 2 players, attacking players for SMU, are dropping back more defensively. So essentially it's just 2v1 at the top. So the Bearcats feel pretty comfortable.
Ball's going to get all the way through, but Brown off of her line, and she's able to collect it. Jordan Kotler was in the neighborhood, maybe trying to pick up a cheap one.
Well read by the goalkeeper, coming out quickly. So important in the modern game. Goalkeepers have to have great range.
J.C. Brown our most outstanding offensive player in this tournament back in 2015 when the Bearcats hoisted the trophy. Here's SMU on the move. Here's Thornton. We got wide for Meehan. Meeting her is Kiki Lowell, and it's going to end up being a foul on Meehan. And more great defending in the brief snapshot of what Kiki Lowell's capable of.
Shoulder-to-shoulder challenge there, but certainly it was a foul against Meehan. Initially, Meehan's movement off of the ball was fantastic to create the angle to receive the pass. But wasn't able to get good control of the ball, and fantastic recovery from Lowell.
Goes all the way back for Les. She's able to clear it away. Strong header in the middle of the park from Harrington. He's now wide for Cooley again. Link up with Allred. Allred into the box. Les off of her line. And this time very sure about it. Able to put two hands to it.
Well met at the near post by the goalkeeper. Allred just needs to take a bit of a better touch up the line. You can see on the cross she was falling backwards away from the goal instead of getting her right hip through the ball towards Bearcats' goal. Would have been a more deep, more threatening cross from Allred.
Lowell with another great step, able to keep it in play as well. The work in the middle of the park from Allie Thornton. She ends up getting muscled off the ball. Terrific step from Cooley. A physical battle in the middle third of the park continues.
Cooperus there did very nicely to get the ball, but had players open to her right, closed the field off to herself and kept it down the left flank. And SMU were able to meet that threat and win the ball back.
A couple of substitutes getting ready to come on for Cincinnati. Jill Viteri, as well as Cassie Weldon, going to come onto the pitch for the first time here in the 2017 American Women's Soccer Championship. They will replace Julia Abbott. As well as Gabriella Presti. Haley Thompson. This little ball forward for Cooley. Gets a neat touch along for Mary Meehan. Meehan looking to take on Kiki Lowell. Kiki Lowell able to beat her to the spot. And it's going to end up being a foul on Meehan. It looked effortless for Kiki Lowell.
It did look effortless. The strength of the player to keep her feet under the challenges from Meehan. Gets goal side so beautifully well. Meehan just riding the back of Lowell all the way to the byline. As she gets up, Lowell looks at the official on this near sidelines. Where was the call? Didn't hear the referee's whistle. There was a free kick given.
Well, it looks like because of the way that Cincinnati is playing with those three backs that SMU have a ton of time and space to play out on the wings, but then up steps Vanessa Gill, up steps Kiki Lowell, and that space is closed down extremely quickly.
Absolutely. Look at Meehan winning that ball out on the flank there. Maybe a diagonal run into the corner from Allred would be of more benefit rather than Meehan trying to be the player to go 1v1 against Lowell. A battle I'm not sure that she's capable of winning.
Throwing to Cincinnati as they continue to move their way up the pitch. Most wins at home back at Gettler Stadium in the history of the program. 5th undefeated record at home. 8-0-3 back in Cincinnati. Able to take down the likes of USF and draw UCF 0-0. Very few teams in this conference, let alone the country, able to say that they held UCF scoreless. They're 5th in the nation in scoring. See them in action tomorrow. They'll take on the winner of UConn and Memphis, which is the latter part of this doubleheader.
Eddie Brown choosing to keep the ball at her feet there. Slow the play down a little bit. Very high RPM start to the game from SMU, but slowed things down a little bit. Cincinnati have come into the floor more, and I could say that the Bearcats have had the better of the first half, other than those first 5 minutes.
Good ball through. Vanessa Gil just going to see it out of play. It's a good combination, though, from SMU. Just trying to break down the Cincinnati back line, and another substitute coming for Neil Stafford. It's going to be DPQ. But before that, we're going to have a hydration break. Certainly is hot here in Orlando.
It's a great opportunity for both coaching staffs to talk to the players and work tactically on some things, make some corrections.
And while we have this brief intermission, we'll take a look at the bracket for the 2017 American Women's Soccer Championship. As we mentioned before, the winner of this game will take on the number 2 seed USF tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. here on the American Digital Network. And then it's the hosts UCF, and the last time they hosted, they were able to take home the trophy and advance to the NCAA tournament via the automatic berth from the American Conference, and they will get the winner of UConn and Memphis. That will certainly be a dogfight between the Huskies and the Tigers. No pun intended. You almost caught me there.
I'm trying to think, is it a dog and cat fight?
That's right. Hopefully it's not raining cats and dogs tomorrow or later tonight.
Well, the way the sky looks right now, I don't think we have to worry about one of those Florida storms blowing up. It's been beautiful weather the last couple of days. It certainly will be an intriguing game this evening between Memphis and UConn. Two fairly similar teams when you look at them statistically. Memphis have been able to score more goals this season. Important thing right now for both squads, they've had this opportunity to take a little break from the action, listen to their coaches. Can they refocus themselves and switch the switch back on as the ball comes back into play?
And we will resume play here at the UCF Soccer Track and Field Complex. Field looks in absolutely beautiful condition. Certainly leads to both teams trying to keep it on the ground. Madison Less will resume play. DPQ getting her first touch. One sent over the top. Good opportunity here for the Bearcats. The flag stays down. There's the shot, and it's just wide. Great opportunity for Cincinnati to get on the board there. But the shot just going wide. Took a little bit of a weird skip as well.
Well, the timing of the run was fantastic from Kurt Lehrer. The ball just wouldn't come down quickly enough for her to put any power on the shot. She tried to steer it into the net, and in the end just dragged her right foot over the top of the ball. And consequently, the ball wide of the left-hand upright. The timing of the run, though, was absolutely sublime.
There were two different Bearcats who had an opportunity to get on the end of it. It looked like J.C. Brown was right on the scene as well. Collar just with 1 goal this season against Temple. DQ trying to find the head of Kotler, who's making the argument that she got a little shove in the back, and now a substitute coming for Chris Petrucelli. And it's going to be Hannah Fleet, the redshirt sophomore out of Nova Scotia, coming on, and she will replace Hannah Allred.
What made that run from Kurt Lehrer so impressive was the way she came back to the ball and bent the run. That put the back line of SMU to sleep and allowed her that opportunity to shoot the ball just wide. She's won a corner kick there, but referee points to 6-yard box for the goal kick for the Mustangs.
SMU certainly had some success in this tournament a year ago. Taking down UCF in penalty kicks, defeating Memphis in the semifinals, and then eventually falling to the Huskies in the championship game by a score of 1-0. They would go on to the NCAA tournament by an at-large bid, but they would fall to Oklahoma 1-0. Seven clean sheets this season for SMU. No goals in the last close to 380 minutes of play. They have come into this American Championship tournament red hot defensively. As PQ will see that out of bounds.
A couple of times on throw-ins on this near sideline, Tyler. Blair Thorpe, number 10, runs diagonally across the pitch. They arrive late on a sprint. Get on the end of a throw-in down the line. Something for the Bearcats to be aware of as the game progresses.
Their substitute ready to come on for SMU. PQ looking for an option. She's going to send along. It's a nice throw-in from PQ. And she will just inch her way up the field. JC Brown. Dangerous ball in the middle of the field. The SMU bench would like that ball to be kept at their own feet. Adler taken down. Cincinnati bench asking for a foul. They're not going to get one. Boyer. Now that SMU substitution is going to come on, it'll be Haley Bishop coming on and replacing Mary Meehan, who had the pleasure of dealing with Kiki Lowell on this near side. And a nice shift from Mary Meehan. Surely see her in the second half.
Meehan's movement off of the ball was very good in her shift in this first half. I think she'd be able to spring herself free if she uses a teammate to combine up the sideline and trying to beat Low 1v1. More effective that way. The team have really found a way to switch the point of attack with any consistency. Seems to favor this near sideline a little bit. Both squads. You can find the possession and then switch that point of attack, stretch out your opposition, make the move horizontally across the pitch. It will benefit you. It creates those passing lanes that you can try and exploit.
Royal trying to keep it away from Viteri. Doing a nice job, Thompson. Jordan Collar providing the pressure, forcing Katie Brown to send it long. Going more horizontal than anything. Space here for the Bearcats. JC Brown. Getting to Viteri. It's off of Thompson. They're asking for a handball, and they will get it. Haley Thompson was trying to get out of the way as the shot from Viteri came in, and now a very dangerous set-piece opportunity for the Bearcats.
Which was a little bit unfortunate there. The hand was away from the body. The shot was very close to Thompson. Because that right arm was up in the air, away from the body a little bit, the referee called for the handball and the free kick in a fantastic position for the Bearcats.
Going to be Katie Corporus on top of it. Redshirt senior. Fort Collins, Colorado. Just about 19 yards away. Here's Corporus. It's a good effort. It's off the crossbar. Still loose in the box. Brown ended up getting a fingertip to it and eventually out of bounds, but a great effort from Corporus. However, Katie Brown is up to the task.
Save of the day, so for the far from Katie Brown, a fantastic effort from her. The free kick was a brilliant one, hit hard. The goalkeeper was able to get that fingertip save onto the crossbar. ensuing effort off of the rebound goes just wide. Well done by the keeper. The faintest of touches onto the crossbar. That was all she needed. Great effort from her. Should have seen that ball late. There was a lot of players in front of her. She'd set up 6 players in the wall. In the end, the goalkeeper did brilliantly.
There was no curve or bend or anything on that shot. It was just pure power. She was just trying to blow it by the likes of Katie Brown, but not up to the task, and she's made a couple of big saves, as well as had a little bit of luck from Cincinnati, who have not been able to convert just yet, as we remain 0-0 here in the final 13 minutes of this first half. Warpers just inches away from giving Cincinnati the early lead.
The wall was initially set up. I thought that the opportunity was there for a chip ball over the top of the wall. This is where the goalkeeper Brown would have had to have positioned herself, but Cooper's just went for the power. Wasn't too far away from the goalkeeper, but it was hit with such speed. She had to move quickly, Brown, to make the save.
Warpers. Pushed nicely by Allie Thornton. Geel. This ball in, Weldon couldn't get a solid touch to it, and it'll stay with Cincinnati. And it's been the Bearcats who have been on the front foot. They are the number 3 seed, however, came into this tournament on a little bit of a skid, as we mentioned before. Just 1 win in the last 4 matches. A win coming against ECU. Sophie Gorman with the tally. That's a Geel with a booming throw in the other way. Cushion nicely for PQ. Boyer. They go along the sideline, and Kiki Lowell helping the defender out of bounds and out of the play. We mentioned before, Matt, how the majority of the play, if not all of the play, has been on this near side. We've seen rarely anything over on the far side of the UCF track and field soccer complex.
And we haven't. Geel had the opportunity there to play the ball back to her central defender partner, Grunnebaum, and didn't do so. To switch the point of attack.
Flicked on, it's dangerous. Oh, it was a great opportunity. Another point-blank shot for Cincinnati that just goes wide. This time it came from Emily Cope.
Throw-in was a good one into the near post area from Kiki Lowell. Flicked on really nicely, and then late effort at the back post. Wasn't able to put the ball on frame off of the shot, but some 3 really good opportunities on net in this first half for the Bearcats.
Ball goes all the way back. It's a dangerous ball. SMU maybe in business here. It's square back across. It falls for Thornton, and it's blocked in front by Geel. Defensive Player of the Year in 2017 coming to the rescue for the Bearcats, as it was a point-blank opportunity for Allie Thornton.
Well, Lowell tried to play the header back to her teammate. It didn't have any pace on it. Fleet, number 12, never gave up on the play. Able to get goal side, cross it into the penalty area. In the end, it was Geel who did a great job getting back defensively to block the shot. It was a slow roller. Allowed Geel to get across, but she never gave up on the play either.
So SMU with the last gasp effort here in the first half. Another great ball in towards the back post, but late entering offensive player slipped right at the last moment. Hope trying to send it forward. SMU with good sustained pressure here. Now it's the Mustangs who are on the offensive. It's through for Fleet. Geel coming over, and she clears it away. It's been good movement from SMU in the past couple of minutes.
They started the first half very nicely. They're trying to finish it off nicely too. There was a slip. The ball was played just behind. And the attempt to try and get on the end of it.
Here's Thornton. Oh, what a goal for Allie Thornton! And the 6th seed SMU are off the schneid. They have a 1-0 lead over Cincinnati with 9 minutes remaining in the first half.
Fantastic effort. I was talking about the player in the box missing the opportunity earlier, not getting on the end of the ball, but boy, she get on the end of this shot. It fell beautifully for her. Hit on the half volley, bumped into the back of the net with the right foot. Goalkeeper, no chance.
4th of the year for Allie Thornton. What a strike from number 20. The sophomore from Arlington, Texas, with an absolute peach of a goal for the Mustangs, and the 6th seed with a 1-0 lead over the number 3 seed University of Cincinnati Bearcats. Cincinnati trying to answer right back. This one sent in and eventually cleared away.
Power and placement on the shot, even more impressive. The fact that she was falling backwards as she struck the ball, Tyler. The Bearcats ruining the fact they've missed some gilt-edged opportunities in this first half.
Thornton's goal just came moments after she had a point-blank opportunity blocked in front by Vanessa Gil. But you're absolutely right, Matt. Cincinnati have certainly had their fair share of opportunities. They have not been able to take advantage, and that was one of our keys to the game, as Cincinnati are able to win a free kick on the far side, was taking advantage of your opportunities in front. They have yet to do that.
They haven't done that. Created some good shot selections and some good opportunities, but you've got to put it in the back of the net. At this level, you don't have that many chances. It's a lot more pressure on the athletes to get the job done, but that's why they play at this level. They are athletes that can do the job.
However, the Bearcats do have a very nice opportunity here at the end of the first half to perhaps level the score. Corporus, not a bad ball in, but over everybody's head, and it'll trickle out of bounds.
Opportunity for the Bearcats to lock in now defensively, try and keep the ball in their attacking third. Corporus there on the service, deep into the box. Nobody running at the back post for the Bearcats, though.
Allie Thornton making a case for goal of the tournament in the first half of the first game of the 2017 American Women's Soccer Championship. Has been a team who's red hot heading into the tournament. 4 straight wins, 4 straight shutouts. Loose ball in front, Corporus providing the pressure, but eventually cleared away.
The dangerous long throw in from low. SMU have to do a better job of defending at the near post.
Roll with the long throw in. Still loose. Terry was trying to get there. Weldon trying to fight her way through. Finally, we see a little bit of action on the far side here. The Cincinnati bench match just encouraging the Bearcats to just play a little bit faster, a little bit more sense of urgency.
When they move the ball quickly, they are more successful, and that's what allowed them to have those good attacks throughout the first half in the middle part of first 45 minutes.
Royer with a great job to keep it in play and finds a teammate as well, and Bishop Haley.
An opportunity lost there from Claire Oates to switch the point of attack. Continues down the right flank for SMU. Has to be some better communication from her midfield partners to try and get the ball out to the left flank.
Really, Bishop wasn't able to hang on to it for the Mustangs. Cincinnati with some time left to perhaps equalize for the first half whistle. 9:45 remaining in the first half as Allie Thornton gets tripped up in the middle of the park by Corporus, and will be an SMU free kick.
Foul there, slow things down. Allow the Bearcat defense to reset. I'll make that challenge though from behind the hip of the attacker, even though it looked like she got a foot on the ball.
Katie Brown coming all the way up to take the free kick for the Mustangs. Plenty of numbers in the box, but that free kick going to go over the byline and out for a goal kick as Madison Less take care of it for Cincinnati.
Strong leg from Brown. Obviously not the service that she wanted, but you can see why she comes all the way out to the halfway line to take those set pieces.
And with just about 5 minutes remaining in the first half, Matt, have seen what we can expect from these two sides?
I think we've seen pretty much the MO of the two teams, but again, I think both have a little bit more to offer. Haven't seen the best of them yet, though we've seen it in spurts. Both squads, I think they'll be more successful if they can find a way to switch the point of attack.
Corpus, big ball forward, hoping for Viteri. Brown off of her line, and she's able to clear it away.
Brown looked down the sideline, see if she could clear the ball more upfield. Didn't feel that she could do so and keep her balance. Smartly just puts it out of play on this near sideline, allowing herself to get back in net.
And now the freshman from Grand Rapids, Michigan, Bailey Kornhorn, comes onto the field for Cincinnati with just a few minutes remaining in the first half. An opportunity for the Bearcats. Corpus just clips it into the box, but nobody home. And not exactly the right execution for Corpus, and another goal kick coming for SMU.
Goal kick, SMU.
Interesting that Lowell decided that she would stay home on that throw in deep in the attacking third for the Bearcats. Jill going forwards. And Cincinnati going with basically two defenders as Jill has joined in the midfield area.
Knoll with a touch along for Cope. She gets taken down, and it'll be a foul against SMU.
Almost looks to me as if in the back three, one player is assigned to mark the lone forward of SMU, allowing the other two players to roam free, if you like, and be the covering defenders.
Royer, great work for SMU, and the assistant referee was waving his flag furiously on the near side, motioning to a foul for the head referee. Carly Royer just continues to do a fantastic job on this near side for SMU. Another substitution coming in right before the half for Cincinnati.
Good service for Thompson. A couple of free kicks late in this first half for SMU. The services haven't been up to the quality needed to threaten Bearcats' net. Lowell stepped out of the action. She's played a fantastic first half. Freshman.
SMU will be very happy to head into the locker room with a 1-0 lead. By way of a spectacular goal from Allie Thornton from about 25 yards out. About 9 minutes left in the half as Royer will clip this in. Comes out wide for Thornton. Thornton into the box. Out by Corpus. And SMU closing out the first half very strong here.
That was a fantastic goal scored by SMU, but I think both teams will be a little disappointed that there haven't been more balls in the back of the net. Credit Brown, the goalkeeper, to SMU for two very, very good saves.
looking for one last push before the half. Long ball sent ahead. And SMU, another good job defensively as they've been able to keep the Bearcats out of the net for the first 45 minutes here in the American Women's Soccer Championship quarterfinals. SMU heads to the locker room with a 1-0 lead by way of a wonderful goal from Allie Thornton. Cincinnati have certainly had their chances. And it's another scoreless half of soccer for this SMU defense, which has kept a clean sheet for nearly 400 minutes of soccer. And now we'll head down to Haley Outen, who's standing by with the head coach of SMU, Chris Petrucelli. Haley?
Coach, I think it's safe to say that was a pretty physical first half. How does your team kind of slow this one down and just gain some rhythm?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, they make it hard for us to, they're stopping us from coming out of the back, and every ball's a challenge, and balls off the field a lot. There's a lot of throw-ins, free kicks, all that. It's not much of a soccer game.
It seemed like both teams were bound to find the back of the net at some point. Your group was able to with about 9 minutes left, that Allie Thornton goal. What did you see there on that goal?
She hit it really well. I mean, Allie's really able to strike a ball well, and when she gets it, she's got so much power, and she hit that one really well.
Cincinnati's had some pretty good chances of their own. What does your defense need to do to keep them out of that final third?
Yeah, it's going to be hard because, they put everything forward, Just got to be real clean when we clear it, and then when we get a hold of it, we got to keep it some.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks a lot, Haley, and nice words from Chris Petrucelli as his team have a 1-0 lead heading into the locker room at the half here in the 3-6 matchup in the quarterfinals of the American Women's Soccer Championship. Allie Thornton's goal with 9 minutes left in the first half is the difference at the moment. Another clean first half for the Mustangs. We'll be back with the halftime show here on the American Digital Network.
My mom actually never finished elementary school. Because my mother was a refugee, she didn't speak English when she arrived to this country. And she had told me when I was in high school, you need to get a degree for the both of us. In my 4 years at SMU, I've been able to accomplish 3 degrees. I've gone from Iraq to DC to Dallas. And I've been able to work with refugees, work with inmates, and also manage a political campaign. The collaborative environment here at SMU really provides a ton of opportunities for students. I'm Kovan Barzani. World changers are shaped here.
For every hero, there is an origin story, an experience that made them who they are. For a new generation of explorers, pioneers, and innovators, that experience is calling, offering a different kind of education, one guided by distinguished professors who understand experience is the best teacher. Greatness lies beyond the classroom. This is where you start. University of Cincinnati. Do more.
We are American. The conference of opportunity. The opportunity to chase dreams. The opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
American Athletic Conference, which has been Gatorade for the support of the American Athletic Conference Women's Soccer Championship. Fans find more information about our women's soccer team on Twitter. Follow @American_WSoccer on Twitter for the latest updates. Again, there's @American_.
Halftime here on the campus of UCF, 1-0 to SMU in the 6-3 matchup in the 2017 American Women's Soccer Championship Tournament. Allie Thornton's goal in the 39th minute is the difference maker at the moment. And with that, we will take a look at the SMU Campus Connect.
Whether it's superstition or team tradition, the SMU women's soccer team has some pretty fun pregame rituals. As a team, before every game in the locker room, we listen to the same 3 songs to get us pumped up, and it's right before we go out on the field for the game. Everyone plays a big part in before game day, getting everyone pumped up. Harrington as well as senior team captain. plays a big role in that, and everyone works together and just pumps up each other.
So before each game, we read a motivational poster that's written in our locker room, and the last lines are, play the game, make it count. We do this, and then coach comes in, and then we go out.
Before each game, Katie and I norma-tech together, and we also take a game-day selfie.
While the Mustangs didn't have the start they were hoping for in conference play, they are relying on their team chemistry and bond to get them back on track in the final games of the season.
This year, this team has a really strong team chemistry, and everyone's super close. We're all best friends, and which definitely helps on the field and off the field, because you can tell on the field that we know how to communicate with each other, and that definitely helps our game.
As well as having great team chemistry, this year we also have a lot of great talent, some young talent, as well as some, senior players that are really making a difference. And so I think that's really going to help us be successful in our last few games.
Okay, so me and Mary play center back together. So before each half, we give each other like a handshake and hug each other and say I love you as a last thing to just know that we have each other's back.
We always have each other's back. It's just a little last moment, like no matter what happens on the field, we have each other's back.
As conference play really takes off these last 5 games of the season, the team's dynamics will truly be tested.
For Campus Connect, this is SMU's Emma Kate Pugh.
My mom actually never finished elementary school. Because my mother was a refugee, she didn't speak English when she arrived to this country. And she had told me when I was in high school, you need to get a degree for the both of us. In my 4 years at SMU, I've been able to accomplish 3 degrees. I've gone from Iraq to DC to Dallas. And I've been able to work with refugees, work with inmates, and also manage a political campaign. The collaborative environment here at SMU really provides a ton of opportunities for students. I'm Kovan Barzani. World changers are shaped here.
For every hero, there is an origin story. An experience that made them who they are. For a new generation of explorers, pioneers, and innovators, that experience is calling, offering a different kind of education, one guided by distinguished professors who understand experience is the best teacher. Greatness lies beyond the classroom. This is where you start. University of Cincinnati. Do more.
We are American. The conference of opportunity. The opportunity to chase dreams. The opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
Halftime here between SMU and Cincinnati in the 6-3 matchup, and it's the 6th seed SMU who has the slight advantage over the Bearcats here at halftime on the campus of UCF. And standing by with the head coach of the Knights is Haley Outen, standing by with Tiffany Roberts-Sahadak.
Coach, great to see you out here. First of all, congratulations on what's been an outstanding season for you all so far. I know you're hoping it's just the beginning of a great run in the postseason, but how would you kind of sum up the emotions so far of this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting, you know, and you said it. We are not done yet. We're really proud of what we've accomplished this far, but we have a list of goals that we still want to accomplish, and so hopefully we're just getting started.
So I know you guys don't play till Friday night, but what is it like having the championship here on campus so far?
Well, hopefully everyone's enjoying our beautiful weather here, and we have beautiful services. Like, we have a great stadium, and I know that the players love to play on great services like this. So it's wonderful being able to host everybody. We're proud of our university, and hopefully we'll get some great games here.
With so many days until the semifinal round of the championship, what is your team doing to kind of just stay calm, keep it going, but just kind of stay patient really till Friday?
Yeah, I mean, we have a really good energy right now. I think everyone's pretty happy about regular season, but again, very focused. But, you know, we're just trying to stay fresh and energized, and they're here watching the game, so it's kind of fun for them being able to be here and watch games. So just stay focused.
I'm assuming we'll see them out here for the second game tonight?
Oh, definitely. They're cute because they're out here already, but they're going to be out here all night watching the games.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach, and we'll see you back out here on Friday. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Haley, as Coach Sahadak has done a terrific job with this UCF crew. But right now it's SMU and Cincinnati at the half. Mustangs with a 1-0 lead. We'll be back right here on the American Digital Network.
We are American. The conference of opportunity. the opportunity to chase dreams, the opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
My mom actually never finished elementary school. Because my mother was a refugee, she didn't speak English when she arrived to this country. And she had told me when I was in high school, you need to get a degree for the both of us. In my 4 years at SMU, I've been able to accomplish 3 degrees. I've gone from Iraq to DC to Dallas. And I've been able to work with refugees, work with inmates, and also manage a political campaign. The collaborative environment here at SMU really provides a ton of opportunities for students. I'm Kovan Barzani. World changers are shaped here.
For every hero, there is an origin story, an experience that made them who they are. For a new generation of explorers, pioneers, and innovators, that experience is calling, offering a different kind of education, one guided by distinguished professors who understand experience is the best teacher. Greatness lies beyond the classroom. This is where you start. University of Cincinnati. Do more.
Back here in Orlando, Florida, on the campus of UCF, halftime between SMU and Cincinnati. And it's the 6th seed, the Mustangs, who have a 1-0 lead over the Cincinnati Bearcats thanks to a wonder goal from Allie Thornton as she was able to find the breakthrough with just 9 minutes left in the first half. Tyler Terrence, along with the man himself, Matt Stubbington. And Matt, as we take a look back at the first half, anything stand out to you?
Well, both teams had 5 shots in the first half. Both put 2 on target. The all-important one was the one that went into the back of the net. Katie Brown made some two fantastic saves, really, in that first 45 minutes of action. Kept SMU on the right side of the score ledger as far as the nil is concerned. It's been a very even game. If you look down, corners, 1 apiece, fouls. SMU have 6 compared to Cincinnati's 2. The important thing for me, though, is looking at the substitutions for Cincinnati. They use a lot more players than SMU. Will that come back to haunt the Mustangs as this game progresses? And there's a look at the goal from Thornton, a fantastic strike with the right foot. And so impressive that she was able to keep it so accurate with so much power. And the fact was she was moving away from the goal as she struck the ball. So a very talented athlete to put enough power in the ball to beat Madison Less from that distance.
Thornton with her 4th goal of the season, and certainly couldn't have come at a better time for SMU, who were really on their heels for the majority of this first half. They started out the game with a great opportunity off a corner kick, which was the first essentially play of the game, and then it was Cincinnati who slowly but surely found their way into the game. They had a couple of point-blank opportunities that Sophie Gorman was not able to connect on. For Cincinnati, is it just as simple as putting the ball in the back of the net to be able to come away victorious?
Well, if they keep creating the opportunities that they created in the first 45 minutes in the second half, then yes, they have to put the ball in the back of the net, and it is really that simple. And that might be part and parcel why they were so inconsistent as the regular season wound down. They're a good team defensively. We've seen that time and time again in the first 45 minutes. Lowell, Jill has played really well in the back alongside Gruenbaum as well. And the goalkeeper, Madison Less, has done a good job in net. She had no chance on the ball that went past her. The important thing is that they have to take advantage of SMU dropping back defensively. We saw that the Mustangs started off positively on the front foot with their 4-3-3, but as this first half progressed, they dropped more into a 4-5-1, and that allowed Bearcats the possession that they want to play with and get further up the pitch. Somehow, some way, though, and I've said it time and time again, both squads need to find a way to switch the point of attack. If they can do that, they'll unbalance the opposition and create more chances in the attacking third.
And, of course, the winner of this match is going to take on the number 2 seed USF on Friday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the American Digital Network. And then the second half of this quarterfinal doubleheader will feature the UConn Huskies and the Memphis Tigers. And then the winner will take on UCF, the host, on Friday at 7 p.m. And we are going to toss it down to Haley Outen, who is standing by with the head coach of the Cincinnati Bearcats, Neil Stafford. Haley?
Hey, Coach. Very physical, very aggressive first half. A lot of chances on both sides. What was your message to the team at halftime?
Just keep going. I mean, I thought we created a lot of chances. hit the crossbar a couple times, and goalkeeper made a great save. So we're creating. I think we're getting pinned in a little bit too much, but hopefully we rectify that at halftime. But, I mean, I have nothing but belief in these women.
I heard you just telling your team that you have just that belief in them. They're creating chances. They're playing some good soccer. But what do you ultimately think will be the difference maker here in the second half if you can be victorious?
Just our team being brave. I think we played a little scared, and we didn't want to make mistakes. And you could see that we started 4 freshmen here. You know, I mean, they've just got to be more carefree and just take the handcuffs off themselves. And when we do that, I think we'll be fine.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks a lot, Haley. And as we heard from Coach Neil Stafford, just maybe being a bit braver. Can you dig deeper into that a little bit more, Matt?
Well, you see it so often. The team that is the higher seed, they have more to lose, so they come out a little bit tentative. And, you know, you could equate it to driving home. You're tired and you put both hands on the steering wheel and you're not steering very well, and maybe you should take a break, have a deep breath, refresh yourself, put some tunes on and just jam as you go home. And that's what this Cincinnati Bearcat team need to do. They need to put some tunes on and jam and get themselves home, and maybe they'll be victorious. However, you got SMU on the other side who've got the dance tunes of their own, and they want to keep the scoreline as it is or increase it if they can, so that they can continue on in playoff action and play on Friday against USF.
Well, both teams are trying to rock on to the semifinals. For SMU, it's just a matter of hanging on for another 45 minutes. They haven't given up a goal in over 400 minutes of soccer dating back to October 15th. And for Cincinnati, this has sort of been the story here at the end of the season. They come into the last 4 games of the season with just 1 win, the last one coming against ECU. Sophie Gorman had the tally as we are underway in the second half here at the UCF Track and Field and Soccer Complex. Tyler Terrens along with Matt Stubbington, glad to have you with us here on the American Digital Network. Allie Thornton, has the lone tally right now for the Mustangs, her 4th goal of the season. The Arlington, Texas native took a rip from about 25 yards out, with just 9 minutes left in the first half, and that is the difference at the moment. And we will flip-flop sides, Cincinnati in the red jerseys, SMU in the white. And that is how we will go for the second half and perhaps beyond if Cincinnati can somehow find an equalizer. We heard from head coach Neil Stafford of the Cincinnati Bearcats earlier saying that he was a little concerned with his team getting pinned back, although it was Cincinnati who was doing the majority of the pinning in the first half.
I think the pin back was because they were staying on that left side so much going forwards. And already in the second half, we see the majority of the action on the far sideline. The Bearcats, though, trying to find a way to switch the point of attack.
Early possession here for the Mustangs. Haley Thompson stepping forward, and a big switch over to Carly Royer, who was an absolute workhorse for this SMU side in the first half. Thompson with a nice feint to get rid of Viteri for the moment.
Immediately we see the Mustangs trying to get the ball switched from left to right, right to left. The Bearcats are doing a good job of following the track, getting players across the pitch, keeping shape defensively.
And we'll head back down to Haley Outen one more time. Haley. Thanks, Haley. And she's also been a source of offense as well for this SMU side, as she's been their main set-piece specialist with a handful of assists on the season. An opportunity maybe perhaps for the Mustangs to get an early tally here in the second half and double their lead. Their first corner of the second half. Flicked on towards the back post and cleared off of the line. Cincinnati escaping trouble there.
Much as they did at the beginning of the first half off of a corner kick, a dangerous opportunity. This one headed in towards the back post. Cleared it the first time of asking from the Bearcats. In the beginning of the first half, there was a goalmouth scramble that they were able to finally clear the ball with.
Bree Costigan clearing it off the line for the Bearcats as Madison Less was scrambled off of her line once again.
No movement there for SMU at all. Just one player trying to find a way to get on the end of the throw-in. All red, but there has to be more movement from the rest of the team.
They'll Nashme on the throw-in, looking for some sort of option. Good job here from SMU, just fighting their way forward, and it seems like the Bearcats are allowing their center backs, that's SMU that is, to carry the ball forward, just daring them to make a play.
You hear the coaching staff for SMU calling out for the player in the back to just take space up the pitch.
Thompson sends it towards the corner. Thorpe letting it run through, tangled up with Costigan. And it's going to end up being a goal kick for Cincinnati. And it continues to be this near left-hand side of the pitch that continues to get a workout. Flick on from Costigan. Coopers couldn't get there for Cincinnati. Claire Oates sending it through. Could be on here. Meehan sending it into the box. It did take a deflection off of a Bearcat, and it will be a corner kick for the Mustangs. Their second of the second half.
Meehan there, great turn of pace down the right flank, gets on the end of it. And just deflected out at the last moment defensively. Fantastic job.
Really similar start to the second half as it was in the first half, with SMU being on the offensive, being the more aggressive team. A chance off of a corner kick.
It was Royer who tracked the run of Meehan and deflected the ball out for the corner. So important for the midfielders to track back, keep trailing the runs.
The ball sent in. There's the header. And again, it's cleared away before it could even get to Madison Less. Cincinnati trying to break out. Here's Weldon. She sends a great ball through. Good opportunity for the Bearcats. Brown off of her line, and she's able to claim it. Katie Brown, as she's done all games so far, very confident coming off of her line, and snuffs out that opportunity.
A fantastic ball played in from Weldon, diagonally curling around the back line. And Cutler with the touch, just a little bit too aggressive, and Brown, another fantastic save. This one bravely out at the feet of the forward.
Here's Viteri dealing with two different Mustang defenders. It'll end up being an SMU throw-in, however, deep in their own territory.
Such a shame there that Kotler couldn't get on the end of that pass and control it as she wanted to. She had to take it to her left to create the opportunity for the shot. Just allowed the goalkeeper. You'd see how Brown had just tracked back to her line and then saw the opportunity to come out and make the save. Changed her direction fantastically well.
Ball down by Kotler. We're back to goal. Sends it back for Viteri. She just clips it towards the back post. Not a bad idea. There's the header. But it was always going wide, and Katie Brown can see it out of bounds. And now a substitute coming on for Neil Stafford in Cincinnati, as it's Lizzie Empfelt coming on.
Nice ball in to the back post area. It was J.C. Brown with the header. Wasn't able to get the angle, the ball angled back across the goal.
Almost a carbon copy of the way that the first half started, with the early SMU chance off the corner and then a good chance on Cincinnati on the other end.
I was just thinking the same thing. It's almost as if Cincinnati need that wake-up call from a close opportunity to start playing their game.
Well, it was a long-range opportunity that was their undoing with 9 minutes left in the first half. Allie Thornton with the lone goal so far, her 4th of the season. As SMU continue to play phenomenal soccer down the stretch here of the 2017 season. Empfelt got a little bit too much of that touch on the near side. It'll be another SMU throw-in. And we heard from head coach Chris Petrucelli of SMU how it wasn't really much of a soccer game. Neither team was really able to find a rhythm with all the free kicks and throw-ins. And it's played in favor of SMU early on. Do you think it'll continue that way, Matt?
Sometimes the lower seed prefers a game like that because it slows the game down for them. Meehan getting into the attacking third now.
Meehan, a great move inside. Meehan still with it. The flag is going to stay down. And in the end, it is terrific defending. It was Carly Royer on the scene.
A great battle between those two players, Meehan and Royer. Royer had to play great defensive effort there, as well as moments ago she had to thwart an opportunity from Meehan.
Gio coming over and sending that away. Could have been 2 goals for SMU if not for a terrific block from Vanessa Gio, 2017 co-defensive player of the year. And she continues to rack up the accolades and a phenomenal time with the Bearcats.
A movement there from the left fullback, Isabel Nashmi, trying to get open on this near sideline to allow the Mustangs to switch the point of attack. And no movement from the Mustangs on a throw-in.
Thorpe trying to fight her way through. It's going to end up being Gio. She's going to at least attempt to shield it out of bounds. Thorpe with good pressure. However, Gio did her job. And it'll be a goal kick for Cincinnati. And you can already tell, down a goal heading into the second half, and with the single elimination format, really got to be a sense of urgency for the entire remaining 45 minutes.
Swinging to the goalkeeper, Madison Less, as she's lining up for the goal kick. She's shielding her eyes from the sun as the sun begins to set over Orlando. It's over our right shoulder as we look at the pitch, and the goalkeeper, when she looks in our direction, she's looking almost right into the sun.
Goes over for Meehan once again on the far side, sends it towards goal, and it's just over the bar. It's one of those cross attempts that ends up turning into a shot that can sometimes give keepers all around the country a lot of trouble.
That's the one that you hate as a goalkeeper. You have to judge the flight of the ball. In the end, Les did very nicely, staying strong at her near post. We'll jump up to the crossbar, making sure that she wasn't embarrassed as it went and hit the roof of the net.
And Haley Allen's got more on the touchline. Haley.
Well, you saw that last shot attempt by Mary Meehan, and Coach Petrucelli is yelling on the sideline, Mary, take her on, take her on. And Coach told me before the game that she is the fastest player on this SMU team, a team that doesn't have a ton of speed. So encouraging Mary to go to goal on that one.
Thanks, Haley, is another opportunity for Cincinnati as they were able to send it across. Here's Viteri. She has that cut out by Thorpe, who came all the way back for her defensive responsibilities. It'll be another throw-in for Cincinnati.
Again, so important for those midfielders to work box to box.
This little chop back. There's the shot, but always going over the bar from Carly Royer. Leaning back a little bit and got underneath it. And another chance for Cincinnati that goes by the wayside.
Nice play off of the throw in, getting the ball back to Royer. Takes a nice touch, little Cruyff turn there. Went for a little bit of power, needs to get that left toe up in the air so you can bend your foot around the ball and wrap the soccer ball into the goal, bend it into the far post. Unfortunately, she went for a little bit of power and consequently leaning back. Didn't lead the shooting foot through the ball with her knee. And over the crossbar it goes.
Cooper is a strong play there. No call from the head referee. SMU on the move once more. Allred working on Geel, sends it across, but Madison Less is there with firm hands. Our side of the field starting to see a little bit more action in the second half. So that had to be a talking point for both coaches, is just to switch the field of play and get the defense of the opposition moving a little bit.
Well, one there on the sliding tackle from Claire Oates. Certainly the coaches, the entire first 45 minutes seem to be played right in front of their benches. Got to have that balance on the offense, as we keep talking about.
As you mentioned, Claire Oates, we haven't called her name all that much tonight. Third team all Northeast region a year ago. She does a lot of the heavy lifting in the middle of the park for SMU. That holding defensive midfielder. JC Brown looking for an option, and she's forced to go all the way back to Kiki Lowe. And a Fleet getting set to come on for SMU. And Sophie Gorman as well, the rookie member of the 2017 team, getting ready to come on as well for Neil Stafford.
Round of applause down there from the coaching staff. They were enjoying the soccer that they were seeing from the Bearcats there. And Neil Stafford saying, I love that one-touch passing, switching the point of attack. Casey Weldon getting available in the middle of the park there and choosing to go to the other side of the pitch, allowing the Bearcats to spread the offense, as we keep talking about.
And Haley's got more on that possession. Haley?
Well, we just saw Hannah Fleet enter the game for SMU, and before she entered, assistant coach Nicole Nelson told her, focus on the defensive side of the ball. They're feeling good, up 1-0. They know defense first, and if you get an offensive opportunity, to go after it, but defense first at this point.
Great job as always, Haley, as Hannah Fleet was certainly active in her role in the first half, and she was integral in creating that Allie Thornton goal, as well as the initial opportunity for Allie Thornton that ended up getting blocked by Vanessa Geel. As we do have a offside flag up on the near side.
So important for the forwards to work defensively. Hannah Fleet, Allred as well, playing up top for SMU. You have to find a way to angle your run to pin or make predictable, the pass that's coming from the opposition, so that the players behind you know where they need to shift. It's so important to do. You can't just run horizontally across the pitch without purpose.
SMU trying to do just that to Cincinnati, but the Bearcats with a good one-touch soccer to try to get out of trouble. And it's going to end up being Bearcat throw-in despite SMU's intentions on the far side. EQ and Gavorski coming on now for the Bearcats.
Cincinnati have gone deeper into their bench throughout this match, trying to keep everybody fresh. SMU with only 3 substitutions made in the first half. Only 1 so far in the second.
Well, under 26 minutes remaining here in the 3-6 matchup in the American Women's Soccer Championship quarterfinals on the campus of UCF, that is. Tyler Terrence along with Matt Stubbington as the Bearcats trying to fight their way back into this game. Haven't had nearly as many opportunities as they did in the first half. Weldon able to bring it down. There's a long-range effort similar to Allie Thornton's, but never got as far. Thorpe with good work to keep it for SMU. And a couple more substitutions getting ready to come on for either Chris Petrucelli as well as Neil Stafford.
So important for these players to keep the standard of play and the effort high as they come off of the bench. Sometimes be a challenge, these new players making sure that they're on the same page as those that have been in the action.
Gabrielle Lepresti as well as Haley Bishop coming on. The defensive play there from Thornton, still with Cincinnati. Cooper is just trying to fight her way through. Is out wide for Costigan. Costigan into the box, and Katie Brown able to hang on to it.
Coaching staff for SMU calling out to the players, stop the service as that ball was driven in towards Katie Brown's goal. Everybody was back for the Mustangs behind the ball on that occasion, deep in their defensive half. We talked about this in the first half. If you do that too much, you invite that pressure, allow the Bearcats the possession that they want, the possession that they enjoy using, and it also allows them the opportunity to create chances on your net.
Cincinnati letting SMU have the ball for the moment. Early ball sent in. Thorpe was trying to get there. Good defensive header from the Bearcats. Cooley on the far side. How long for Bishop? Bishop into the box. Thorpe was there, but it just got caught underneath the Bearcat defender.
Good attacking movement there from SMU. Cross comes in. Thorpe couldn't get on the end of it. You can see the players there just dropping out, popping out to the penalty spot, knowing that that is the angle of the pass that's coming.
And that'll be easy work for Madison Less. 23:40 remaining in this second half of the 3-6 matchup. SMU have their goal by way of Allie Thornton with 9 minutes left in the first half. Collision in the middle of the park. Gorman trying to go out wide. Another terrific defensive play from Isabel Nashmi. Terry. More bodies hitting the deck along the near side. Kiki Lowell now. Costigan. Broken up by Bishop. We're starting to see Cincinnati throw a lot more numbers forward.
Time winding down. They have to find a way back into this match. Using the middle of the pitch a little bit more. Finding ways to get out wide. Got to credit Thorpe and Nashmi on this near sideline. They're stopping the attack moments ago. Worked well in conjunction with each other. One player putting pressure on the ball, the other with great balance and cover on the zone read.
This one over the top, Brown off of her line. And she's going to force Cincinnati to pressure her before she picks it up, and eventually does. As the time-wasting antics, I'm sure, are well underway in the minds of these players.
So a long way to go. 22 minutes left in this match. Too keyed in on making the clock run. You don't concentrate on the game so much.
Carly Royer coming on as we are going to have another hydration break.
Katia Novi came on as well for the Mustangs. So again, another great opportunity for both sets of coaches to talk to the team and make any tactical suggestions, changes as we're in the last quarter of the game.
And you mentioned Katia Novi. She was the hero the last time these two teams met back on October 22nd. Just 10 days ago. Novi had the game winner in the 80th minute. It was assisted by Allie Thornton, and Novi came off of the bench. Score a scrappy goal and the big 3 points to SMU. And they're trying to take down the Bearcats for a second time this season. Still plenty of time left, though, if you're Cincinnati. Has it been trying to get better for this Bearcat side? SMU already back out onto the field. For them, it's just business as usual. And with more on the touchline, we'll and now we'll throw it down to Haley Outen, who's touchline. Haiti.
All right, well, a little bit of a fun fact about Vanessa Gil, the co-defensive player of the year, and talking to Coach Stafford, he told me that Vanessa didn't start playing soccer competitively until about 3 years before she went to college. She was actually a star tennis player in Canada, so she gave that up to switch it over to soccer and is now a very successful soccer player on the Cincinnati roster, and they'll need her here in the second half if they want to make a comeback.
Thanks a lot, Haley, and very successful, I think, is a wild understatement for Vanessa Gil, but certainly an interesting story that she didn't start playing competitive soccer until about her sophomore year in high school. Here's Gorman on the turn. Gorman looking for an avenue. Plays it back for PQ, and Brown able to make the save. First big save of the second half for Katie Brown as she's able to keep a goose egg up on the board for Cincinnati.
PQ did a really good job side-footing this, trying to pass it into the back of the net. Lets that ball just drift across her body as she takes the shot with her left foot. Brown did a good job of reading the movement of the shooter, PQ, and was drifting to her right and got her body behind the ball for a very nice save.
PQ giving chase again. Very active here off the bench. She just came on right before the hydration break. Cooley bringing it down for the Mustangs. They couldn't quite get her touch right. Cooley again. Game of keep away here for the Mustangs. Sophie Gorman with some terrific defensive work and able to spin away from the defender as well. Cincinnati on the move. Back for Gorman. Gorman with a long-range effort. Oh, and it's just over the bar. Not a bad idea at all from the all-rookie member, Sophie Gorman.
Sometimes when those shots happen, you can read the flight of the ball and you think, oh, she's beat the goalkeeper. And I think on this occasion, Gorman had. I believe she would have beaten the goalkeeper. The footwork was good from Brown, but I'm not sure she was in the right place at the right time. Either way, it was all for naught because the ball went over the crossbar.
That's an encouraging sign if you're Neil Stafford for Cincinnati, having one of your leading goal scorers just have a little bit more confidence. He talked at halftime with Haley just about being brave and, you know, taking the handcuffs off in his words, and certainly a sign of creativity and a little bit more courage from Sophie Gorman.
Well, that's the confidence, and as a freshman, you don't know what you're not supposed to do, and why not have a go from distance? You have that confidence in your right leg, have a bash. I always say to my players, put it in the mix. Good things might happen.
Bishop sends it across. Cincinnati was there defensively, and a long-range effort from Oates that goes well over the goal. Now Emily Cope will come on for SMU, and she will replace Lauren Harrington. Cope, sophomore out of Vail, Colorado. Looked on by Gil. PQ again. Sending it over the top. Brown off of her line. It's a race to the ball, and Brown again wins that race.
Continues to read the game well, does Brown. Good range coming off of the goal line. Brave to the foot of the forward as well. All the assets that you want from a goalkeeper.
BQ able to shield the ball away. How about that for a sliding challenge? Here's Bishop. Thought she had Hannah Fleet making that straight run down the middle, but they weren't on the same page, and Madison Less able to pick it up.
That was a brilliant challenge there from Heron to win the ball for SMU to start the counter-attack. Weren't able to connect the passes in the important area of the pitch, but credit Heron, the great defensive effort.
There's Oates. Go all the way back to Katie Brown. Cincinnati with applied pressure able to turn SMU over. On along for Gorman. Here's another long-range effort. That one goes wide. Cincinnati claiming there was a deflection. And indeed there was. It'll be a corner for the Bearcats.
SMU just need to settle down a little bit. Heron indicating to the goalkeeper she wanted the ball played long. It was in the end, it went out to the sideline for a throw-in to the Bearcats that allowed them this opportunity on the corner kick.
Cincinnati trying to equalize. 16:45 remaining in the second half. And towards the near post. Royer was trying to win it back and eventually cleared away. EQ back into the mixer. Gorman sends it back out wide. Cross coming into the middle. Heron with a good clearance, and then the shot over the bar. And Cooperis going to come back onto the field now.
Created a lot of opportunities for the Bearcats throughout this match, particularly in the first half. That was a good sustained attack from the Bearcats. In the end, the shot was high and wide.
Jordan Kotler coming on as well for Cincinnati. If you're Neil Stafford, it certainly is encouraging to start to see these chances come more frequently. But at some point, something's got to give. We talked about efficiency on shot selection as one of the keys to the game for the Bearcats. They have not been able to find the back of the net just yet. They've certainly had their opportunities. Katie Brown and company have been up to the task defensively as this fantastic goalless streak for SMU continues. Casey Brown coming back on for Cincinnati. Hannah Allred back on for SMU.
Getting to that point where you might see some tactical changes made from both coaches, particularly the Bearcats, but you think they have three players in the back and they allow one of those players to pop forwards on the attack. They don't really have anywhere to go in the defensive area of the pitch to pull a player out and push them further forwards.
Gio with the header for Cincinnati. First time SMU has really put pressure on this Bearcat back line in quite some time. But mostly Bearcats. And the offside flag is up on the far side, and they'll blow that play dead.
Saw that one coming from a mile off. Like Allred had pitched a tent and brewed a cup of tea. She was there so long.
Iced tea? It's Orlando.
Yeah, iced tea would be the one.
All the way back to Madison Less.
Well, it's been cool enough in Florida the last couple of days for a hot chocolate.
Certainly has been. Oates with the header for SMU in the middle of the park. She's been trying to break up the Bearcat rhythm out to the course of these 77 minutes or so. Goes out wide. Less off of her line. SMU's got to be careful. They're throwing a lot of numbers forward. They would hate to get hit on the counter of this Bearcat team, which is more than capable of that.
Beautiful touch there from Oates. I think she's staying in front of the back four, trying to keep the integrity of the defensive side of the ball for the Mustangs, keeping 5 in the back, allowing SMU to attack with 5 as well. Talk about, we haven't really mentioned Oates a whole lot in this game, but that's really what you want from your defensive midfielder. The linchpin there is there to play the game simply, be strong on the defense, take away the passing opportunities from the opposition, and then just be that quick outlet pass in the middle of the pitch so that you can restart things and allow your defense to relieve the pressure a little bit so that they can go short as well as long on the passes.
Ball just thumping it the other way. And Brown continues to knock precious seconds off of that clock. Less than 12 and a half remaining before SMU are headed on to the semifinals to take on USF on Friday evening.
Being able to play the ball with your feet is such a big part of the goalkeeper position. Brown has that confidence just to trap that ball with the thigh, keep it at her foot, allow time to wind off the clock, force the Bearcats in to come in and put pressure on, so she has to pick the ball up.
Harrington back onto the field for SMU. Thompson. It's the easy way out there. Izzy Empfeld onto the field as well for the Cincinnati side. Kotler into the box. Thornton and Cooperis collide. Gorman put a foot to it. Over for Geel. And it's going to end up being a foul against SMU.
Good refereeing there from Joe Rio. He allowed play to continue to see if the Bearcats were going to get any advantage. None was forthcoming, so he blew up for the foul. See the collision here. Late challenge. As Sophie Gorman goes to ground. Great position here, Tyler, for either a shot on net or the service to the back post.
Cooperis has already hit the crossbar with one free kick attempt today. This time trying to allow a teammate to run onto it. However, it's the Mustangs who yet again are there defensively. Mary Meehan waiting to come on for Chris Petrucelli.
It was Haley Thompson there with the athletic clearing header at the back post for the Mustangs. Beautifully done.
Kiki Lowell with the long throw-in. SMU able to clear their lines for the moment. Cincinnati are just going to try to recycle. A moment Allred had at Avenue, but Cooperis was back defensively. Cooperis sending it back in.
Allred has to run her socks off as the lone forward for the Mustangs. Coming back defensively on these set pieces, she has to get up the pitch to try and find a way to get to the strong side of the field. That's the side of the ball the ball is on. See if she can receive the ball as an outlet for the Mustangs and try and relieve some of this pressure.
Great ball in from Geel. Gets all the way through. Brown off of her line. And once again able to claim it. Down to desperation time for Cincinnati. Under 10 minutes remaining. SMU looking to pull off the 6-3 upset in the American Women's Soccer Championship quarterfinals. Gorman trying to turn. Thompson with a great defensive play. SMU trying to break out and maybe hit Cincinnati on the counter, looking for that insurance goal. Big ball sent across, but Geel with a good challenge. Harrington hoping that Thornton was going to make that run.
Katia Novi with a beautiful little tiptoe around the defender, and then the ball served in was a good one. Gil, though, and showing how good she is defensively. That was an important intercept on the pass.
And Felt. And Cooperis. Felt comes away with it. Goes out wide for Kotler. Kotler with the delivery. It finds Gorman. Gorman has her shot blocked in front. More last-ditch defending from SMU. Thornton trying to send all red into the attacking third. Header from J.C. Brown. Kotler giving chase, and Katie Brown on the other end able to clear it away. End-to-end action here on the campus of UCF. J.C. Brown finding Gorman. Sliding it through. Kotler trying to pick out somebody in the box. It ends up off of an SMU player, and it will be a corner for the Bearcats.
Aaron there again with the tackle inside the box. Trying to change the point of attack. Well, Sophie Gorman, sorry. Well read in the end by Heron. There's another great opportunity for the Bearcats off the corner kick.
Corner kick sent in. SMU again are there first defensively. They've certainly won the aerial duel. Still time for Cincinnati. This one clipped in. Gorman just trying to help it along. And Brown will wait once again. Time winding down in what probably seems like forever for SMU, and the clock couldn't move fast enough for Cincinnati. Kiki Lowell. Heron. Will find Bishop. Sent along the line. Thornton is going to be able to keep it in play. Allie Thornton on the other end. And she's going to drag it to the corner very wisely and win a throw-in for SMU.
Looking across the field, SMU keeping 5 players back. The 4 defenders and Oates in front. Is that holding defending midfielder?
PQ coming on, replacing Jordan Kotler. PQ has been a nuisance along the SMU back line in the second half.
There's a lot of energy off of the bench, does PQ. Love the way she plays the game.
And she perhaps create a chance. This Bearcat side who trail 1-0 at the moment. Allie Thornton with the game winner as it stands. Mary Meehan being urged to send it to the corner, but she's not able to keep it in play. It'll be a throw-in for Cincinnati. Bearcats need to throw everything forward now. A little bit of confusion as to whose ball it was. It's going to end up being Mustang ball. Neil Stafford certainly not happy on the touch line. Header from Gil. And it's going to go all the way back to Madison Less. Less than 4.5 minutes remaining now.
That was clever there from Meehan. She knew that the pressure was coming into her back from Gorman. Just allowed the contact to happen, and in NBA parlances, flopped. But did so under a challenge and quite rightly run the free kick. But you could just see exactly what she was intending to do. It was well played by Meehan.
Ended up working out for SMU. Cincinnati desperately trying to get the ball out of their own defensive third, but the Mustangs did a great job of pinning Cincinnati back in the most crucial part of the game. Madison Les quickly punts it away. Oates on the mix. Oates sends it back. Could be trouble here for SMU. There's the touch from Heron, and she's just going to have to play it out of bounds. Bearcats with a deep throw in here.
No surprise Lowell isn't taking this. She had some great long throw-ins in the first half that were met on a flick header at the near post.
SMU deal with the initial throw-in. Meehan with good defensive play. And SMU are off to the races, perhaps looking for the insurance goal. Meehan closed down by Kiki Lowell now. Meehan just trying to take it to the corner. Meehan with a clever touch around Lowell, and able to win a free kick for the Mustangs. And Mary Meehan is down for SMU.
Meehan is a very smart soccer player. We saw it moments ago when she won the free kick. We see it again here. I said in the first half I didn't think that she was fast enough to beat Lowell in a foot race. So smartly, the midfielder slows the play down, changes pace, and creates the opportunity to win the free kick on the foul.
SMU just holding up play in the corner flag. Cincinnati somehow able to win the ball back. However, they give it right away. It's Meehan once again. And it's another SMU throw-in. Precious seconds knocking off of the clock. Less than 2 minutes now here on the campus of UCF. SMU less than 120 seconds away from pulling off the upset. Kiki Lowell with a bone-crunching tackle. However, it'll be another Mustang throw-in. Credit to this SMU midfield, which has done a superb job at the end of the game, finding that second win and making life difficult for Cincinnati to go forward.
The Mustangs begin halves well, end halves well. Got to put a little bit more meat in the sandwich to finish the job and put a whole performance out there.
PQ trying to get on the end of it, showing her great speed. A great job from SMU back line. This time Isabel Nashmeet. She's been able to contain the Cincinnati wingers. Less than 1 minute remaining. Gorman being hounded by Meehan. Cincinnati throwing. Still time for an equalizer. Bearcats scrambling now. Desperately trying to avoid an early end to their season. Loose ball, Meehan trying to get there. And the referee does blow a foul and to go the other way. And that might just do it.
Certainly allows SMU to take their time over this set piece. Coach Petroselli there just throwing a little cup of water over me and appreciating her efforts in the last few moments.
Here's a long-range effort, and that's going to do it. The SMU Mustangs are marching on to the semifinals. They have upset the number 3 seed, the University of Cincinnati.
The momentum continues for SMU. Haven't conceded a goal now in 5 games. Fantastic effort from them.
And Haley Outen is standing pitch side with Chris Petroselli. Haley?
Wow, Coach, what a game. What a finish for your team in the second half defensively. First of all, what are your thoughts on the performance of Katie Brown in this game? I mean, she made herself known today.
Yeah, she was really solid. I mean, you know, she didn't get many rebounds. She got on the crosses, and you know, I thought she had a really nice game.
You talked to me about it before this game, but your team has had this playoff mentality for quite a while now. How do you think that translated in just the eagerness of the postseason?
Yeah, you know, it makes you tougher. You know, you go through these experiences where every game's a do or die kind of thing, and I think it makes you mentally a little bit tougher.
A physical battle, physically and emotionally in this one, 90 minutes. How do you get this group ready and recharged for another tough game on Friday against USF?
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, I'll tell you that. USF's a good team. But, you know, we'll go back, we'll look at the film, we'll try to rest up a little bit. We'll give it our best come Friday.
You met USF earlier in the season, but this seems to be a different team now than the last time you met the Bulls. What's the biggest takeaway from that first meeting, watching back the film and knowing what you're going to expect forward?
Well, look, they're good going forward, and they scored 3 goals against us the last time we played, and if they score 3 goals against us again, it's going to be tough. So, again, we're going to have this kind of effort and defend really well.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. We'll see you Friday.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Haley. So it'll be the Mustangs and the Bulls on Friday night. Allie Thornton with the game winner for SMU, her 4th goal of the season. And Haley is ready with the clean sheet keeper for SMU, Katie Brown. Haley?
That's right, I'm with Katie Brown. Katie, congratulations on this win. How would you describe what the last 5 games really has been like for this team, that now that you guys have found your rhythm and you're really surviving and advancing in each game? How's it been like for you?
I mean, it's been awesome. I think I have to credit my back line a lot for that, because us all working together as a team is what has kept us from getting scored on, and so that's a huge credit to them. And just like our team, we want this so bad, and I think that is the reason why we have just powered through these last 5 games, because we know that we can do it. So playing for each other, playing for our seniors is really, it's an awesome feeling.
5 straight shutouts. I know as a goalkeeper, that's a pretty important statistic for you. Today's game, though, you seem to be aggressive, coming off the line, making your presence known. How are you feeling out there today personally?
Awesome. I mean, I'm just full of adrenaline. This is exactly where, we've worked so hard to get. So, just working so hard all season has just gotten me more fired up for this game and the games to come. So it's an awesome feeling.
It was a physical battle out there today, 90 minutes. You guys definitely worked for this one. How do you kind of help lead your team to get ready and regroup for another tough game coming up on Friday?
I think recovery is a huge part, and just like our team spirit, and just keep fueling it. Relentless is our key word for this season. So just knowing that, we can be relentless on the field, and, that's just keeping with that statement is what our season's all about.
All right, thanks a lot. We'll see you out here on Friday. Good luck.
Over 450 minutes of scoreless soccer for Katie Brown, as the SMU Mustangs and Miss Brown are headed off to the semifinals for a date with the USF Bulls on Friday at 4:30 right here on the American Digital Network. For my broadcast partner, Matt Stubbington, and the 3rd member of our crew, Haley Outen, I'm Tyler Terrence saying so long for now. The final score, SMU 1, Cincinnati 0.